Good amount of Next Gen fans in the building. What's up, guys? Frankie and I back at the Texas Cardhouse for something super exciting. Our very first meetup game here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, a good amount of people showed up. Maybe if we can get 1 or 2 tables of Next Gen fans here, we're about to show you guys what it looks like in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be busy, and it might not be for us because we have a special guest today with us. We are gonna go play in the biggest buy-in of our life. 2-5 stakes. This is not it's not a drill,
and it's not normal 2-5. It's $2,500 max, and we're
Texas
in Texas,
2-5.
so it's match the big stack, which people in Texas like to do.
Yeah, they definitely do. We're sticking with 1,000. We are excited. I mean, we've played in for $1,000 before, but biggest stakes. This is not clickbait. Actually, our biggest stakes.
Yeah.
Let's run it up. Let's run hot. Let's go.
Let's see how many of you guys showed up for us.
Hell yeah.
Just for us.
Let's do it. Just for us.
Rosey and Frankie got a little head start on me, but it's all right. We're coming in, repping the burn card hat. Hopefully that brings us some run good. Good pregame snack. Hopefully this is the amount of money I make tonight. Let's go.
We sit down on the 1-2 table as a warm-up, waiting for our name to be called on the 2-5 list, which ended up being 75 people long, so congrats to Brad and Andrew. Let's start to the hand. I looked down at pocket 10s in the big blind. Under the gun makes it $16. The cutoff and button call. I know nothing about these players yet. It's my first hand of the night. And then the small blind announces a raise. Listen to the audio from under the gun.
You take all the fun out of the only time I've raised a hand, dude.
So he shows he's clearly not happy. Small blind makes it $115. A cold 3-bet in a 1-2 game signalizes a ton of strength, and then the under the gun player just folds. Again, he complains a little bit. And now I feel like my decision's easy. I end up laying down pocket 10s for only $2 lost. The button ends up making the call, interestingly enough, and folds to an all-in on the flop. The small blind later revealed that he had pocket queens, so good fold. Oh, and there our name is, off to 2-5.
All right, boys, first hand for me at 2-5. King, queen of hearts in middle position. We see an under the gun limp. That's not enough. Let's make it 20. We get 3 callers, 1 after me and 2 in early position. So we are going 3rd out of 4 ways in position to a flop of 10-8-5 with 2 diamonds. Not much, but a backdoor straight draw and 2 overcards, so I'm going to check when it checks to me, and it checks around. The turn is the Jack of Spades, an offsuit card that gives us an open-ended straight draw to go along with our 2 overs, and it gets checked to us again by the 2 early position opponents. I think it's time to put some money into this pot. No one's really showing much interest. We've picked up some equity. I throw in $50, and only the guy after me calls. Not the most ideal scenario. I wanted him out of the way, but we got to go out of position to a river. Can we hit it? 2-5? No. It is an offsuit 5, pairs the board. We're left with king high. And there's only one way we're going to win this hand, most likely, gentlemen. I decide to go for the bluff at 2-5, use my image. We're in a crazy game. People know I'm uncomfortable. They're going to give me credit for a lot of good stuff here. I make it 125. The guy goes into the tank and makes the call. We say we're not good. We show. And he's got 6-5 of clubs. The worst river card. We definitely could have gotten him off that hand on any other river. That's unfortunate, but I like that we went for it. And let's see if we can stay aggressive and make that money back.
Here we are into the 2-5 game. I buy in for $900. It folds to me in the small blind. I've got ace-king offsuit. I raise to 20, and the big blind makes a comment about not wanting to chop this hand because last rotation when it came to us in the small blind and folded all the way around, we just gave up our hand and went on to the next one. No money lost. He makes the call now for $20, and we're going off to a flop that said, which comes 2-5-4 rainbow. In this situation, I have the nut advantage. I have all the overpairs. He didn't re-raise me pre-flop. I make it $15, and now he does re-raise me to $35, so it's a small min raise. With my 2 overcards, I make a call here, and the turn is the 6 of clubs. Horrible flop for my hand and my range. I check. He bets $75, and I just make the fold here. He shows pocket aces, so what do I know about the nut advantage? Good thing we only lost $55 in this hand, and he didn't raise pre-flop.
We got 2 legends, Brad and Andrew, in the house, Texas Cardhouse Dallas, mixing it up with us. 2-5's a bit out of my bankroll, so I stick to my roots at 1-2, while Rosey and Franco mix it up with them. Good luck to them, they're going to kill it. First hand for us, we look down at Queen Jack of Hearts in the small blind. +1 decides to open it up to $12. He gets 2 callers. I think this is a good spot to 3-bet and take advantage of my tight image at the table. This was the first hand I would be opening at the table too, so I thought I'd get a lot of respect. I 3-bet to $60. +1's the only one that makes a call, so we're off to flop heads up out of position. It comes 10-5 deuce, 2 spades, and 1 club. Here I decide to down bet to $40. I can be doing this with pretty much all overpairs I might down bet on this board, and I think he can be folding out hands like ace jack, ace queen that beat us when I decide to bet on this flop. So I bet 40. He makes a call though, so gotta assess a turn. I'm planning on barreling on just about any turn that's good for our range. A 9, jack, queen, king, or ace. So the turn is one of those cards. It is the queen of diamonds, great card for us. The pot is a little over 200 at this point. I've got 180 in my stack. I think the right move here is to go polar and rip it all in, hoping that he'll call with a 10, a low pocket pair, or even pocket jacks is definitely going to be making this call, assuming maybe I'll have some sort of flush draw or ace king that's trying to get a bluff through here. So I rip it all in for 180, hoping to look a bit bluffy. He makes a call for $180, so we're all in, off to a river. The river comes in offsuit 3. It's a pretty dud of a card. I flip over my hand, assuming that I might be good here. However, he flips over, you're not going to believe it, pocket 3s. He riveted us here, made a call thinking we were getting out of line, and unfortunately for us, it paid off for him. Nice hand to this gentleman. Nothing I can do here but rebuy and move on to the next one. I will for sure be targeting him, knowing he will call me down relatively light. Let's hope Brad and Andrew being here bring us some run good later on in the session.
Next hand for me, we got ace queen offsuit on the button. We see a limp from the hijack. I make it $20. We get cold called from the small blind. Gets back to the hijack, who goes for the old limp jam for $81. This is a small raise. It's a limp jam, which is a little sus, but I don't think we can necessarily fold given the stack depths. I make the call, and the small blind comes along as well. So we're going 3 ways with heads up action in position to a flop of queen 4 queen with 2 clubs and 1 diamond. The dream. The small blind checks it over to me, and I c-bet for $80. He folds, leaving us heads up with the hijack gentleman, feeling pretty good. Let's go to a run out. We see a 5 of diamonds on the turn and a 2 of hearts on the river. He shows ace king offsuit. We were in trouble pre-flop, but looking pretty damn good post-flop. We get a little lucky and take this one down.
After avoiding a disastrous situation with ace-king versus aces, we're back at the 2-5 table. My stack has dwindled down to about $600. I'm in the cutoff, and we see a raise from under the gun to 15, the low jack and hijack call. With king 10 of hearts, I make the call here as well, and both the blinds fold. Going off to a flop, which comes king, jack, 9, 2 clubs. Under the gun now continues for $30. Other 2 players fold, and I've got an easy call here with top pair. The turn is an interesting one. It's the 9 of spades. Now I've got a double gutter. 2 cards give me a straight. Obviously can hit trips if I'm behind. Don't know exactly what she has, but she has a pretty strong range of raising under the gun. She now makes it $55, and I'm going nowhere. I make the call here, going off to a river, which is the 8 of clubs. The flush gets there, and now under the gun, snap checks it over to me. She's not going to have many flushes in her range, especially now that she checked the river. Maybe a lot of players might want to just check it back with the straight now that the 3-liner to the flush got there, but nope. There is value to be had, and I think this is a card I can bet. I make it $75, and under the gun, snap calls. I show king 10 And we are good. So thankfully I value bet. She ended up telling me that she had ace king. So we got there on the river and got value. Excellent hand. Off to the next one.
All right, gentlemen, the main event, the main course. Pocket queens under the gun. Raise it up to 20. We get calls from the small blind and the big blind. The flop comes ace queen 4 with 2 hearts. We flop middle set. It checks to me, I c-bet for $40. Small blind folds, and the big blind check raises to $140. Is this happening? Oh my goodness. This was the most spastic player at the table, the loosest player at the table, and they knew that I had a relatively tight reputation. I want to keep his bluffs in. I understand the hearts are there. There's totally a reason to just get it all in, but I feel like that'll turn my cards kind of face up, so I decide just smooth call in position. The turn. Don't be a heart, don't be a heart. It's a heart, gentlemen. But it's the queen of hearts. We turn quads. And better yet, he leads out again for $150. Now that the hand is over, and we have won, and the flush has gotten there, I'm like in a call and let him blast off on the river with keeping all his bluffs in range. That's what I do. I make the call. The river, an offsuit 3. We still got the stones. I am loving life. And this time he does slow down and check. And now it's time to think about sizing for value. I decide to go for the sizing of $450. I don't think I've ever made a bet that big in my entire life at any game. And to do it with the nuts is pretty awesome. He goes into the tank and makes the call.
Quads. 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 Quads.
We say quads immediately. He says that he had ace 4, which doesn't really make sense for a call. I talked to some friends about this hand after, and they think that he was lying and that he had a flush. I'm not too sure. Ace 4 seems like a weird hand to call that down with, but who knows? This was a pretty spastic player. Nevertheless, biggest pot of my life, guys, goes our way at Brad, Owen, and Andrew's 2-5 meetup game. My biggest shot take ever. The dream. The absolute dream.
After getting stacked our first hand we play, we decide to rebuy here, and we pick up pocket queens almost immediately in middle position. There's a straddle on, and so I decide to open it up to $25 when it folds to me. Pretty large sizing. Folds around, and the big blind and the straddle come along, so we're off to a flop 3 ways in position. It comes 5-7-7 rainbow. Relatively safe board for me. I want to continue betting here, hoping to get calls from hands that might have ace high or some low to medium pocket pairs. So when it checks to me, I bet $25 again, same bet. And the big blind, who's a relatively competent player, he's pretty good. He raised to $80 here. I think he's going to be doing this with all pocket pairs. He knows that I might be bluffing on such a dry board like this. However, something weird happens when the straddle goes over the top and raises it up to $225 total. Ugh, I hate this spot. I know it's just a fold. I sit there and think about it for a while, thinking how can I possibly find a call here, because I just want to play a hand, but I know it's a fold here. I know I've got to be beat. Someone hit that 7. I let out a sigh, let go of my queens, and sure enough, when the big blind folds as well, the straddler flips over king 7 offsuit, and we move on to the next one. Glad to lose only $50 in that hand. The ladies are always messing with my heart over here, I swear.
Okay, you lovely commenters out there, get those fingers ready, because this hand, I did not play too well, but it's okay. We're going to still talk about it. We got pocket jacks in the small blind with Brad Owen at my table. He has left to go check his phone for a moment, so he's not here, but I've got him in spirit through my jiggities. There's an under the gun straddle, so we're playing 2, 5, 10. The hijack opens to 35. The button 3-bets to 125. This was a button that was the loose spastics player from my quad queens hand. He's been very active. And I think here we have a 4-bet spot. We're out of position, don't want to incentivize the raiser to call, and then we have to go 3 ways out of position. The 3-better's 3-betting wide on the button. I think we have a stone cold 4-bet here. But I'm just too scared to. I'm going to be honest. I'm scared money. This is a big stakes for me. It's 2, 5, 10 now with the straddle. We're super deep. And my 4-bet would have to be around, like close to $500. And I'm just not comfortable doing that yet. I know, yell at me. I'm being honest with you guys though. So I just flat, and the hijack comes along as well. Flop comes 10-7 deuce rainbow, checks to the pre-flop 3-better, who goes 225. For him to continue multi-way, I am going to throw a little bit of some red flags into the air. We now can't beat pocket 10s. Pocket 7's also a set. And I make the fold here, guys. That might be a mistake as well. But it feels a little bit less of a mistake when the hijack rips it all in for $600+. So I'm thinking, okay, we're probably behind here. We didn't play this great, but we honestly might have saved some money. The button makes the call. So now I'm thinking, all right, we're in last place. Let's go to a run out. Run out goes 5, which is the second spades, and the 6 of hearts on the river. The hijack tables 4-6 of clubs, and the button mucks. That happened, guys. That happened. Check the footage. I'm not lying. It's right there. So a lot of craziness going on. Moral of the story, we should have 4-bet. At this point, Brad Owen has returned to the table, and he gives me some words of wisdom when I ask him about my jiggities.
There's no right way to play them.
On to the next one, guys. That's my bad.
Unfortunately, when Brad sat down at our table, I was very card dead for the 30 minutes and got no hands against him. However, I also got a hand with pocket aces that I don't have the footage for, where I made it 15 under the gun and the button jammed for $80. I called and I held against King Jack suited. So we'll see if Rosey has any better luck getting in hands against him. And since that aces hand, we are actually a little bit in the green, or the black as they say in poker terms.
Final hand, a note for us, we got King 10 offsuit on the button. Folds around to the cutoff, he makes a limp, and I open it up here to $15. Folds back around to him, and he makes a call on the cutoff, so we're off to a flop, heads up. Comes ace 4-4 with 2 clubs, we got the backdoor nut flush draw, and king high. He checks to me. I don't think I need to bet too big here. I don't think this board is going to connect with him a whole lot, so I just bet $10 here, hoping to take it down pretty early on in the hand. However, he makes a call, so at this point, I'm putting him on pretty much any weak ace as well as low to middle pocket pairs. The turn comes, he's 7 of clubs. He checks to me again, and now we pick up the nut flush draw. I consider checking here for a bit of pot control and just to get a bit closer to showdown. However, I think a bet here will accomplish hands like 2s through 9s to fold, so I bet $35 here, hoping to take this pot away from him. However, he makes a call, and we still got outs, I'm sure. Even if he did spike a 4, we can still hit our flush and beat him, and he might call down a bet on the river if I do hit it. However, it's not the case. The river duds off, it's a deuce of hearts. He checks me again. At this point, I'm fairly certain he's got a weak ace, and it's a relatively recreational player. I don't think he's going to like folding a top pair, even if I were to overbet the pot. I think if I bet 80 to 100 here, he might find a fold, but he also is going to be calling a large percentage of time. He did have about 500 in his stack to start off, and people in Texas hate to fold, so I decide to give up here and just check back. Sure enough, he has ace-5 offsuit, and he takes his pot down to end the night. We end the night major in the red. Couldn't catch a hand, but that's okay. Happy to get to meet Brad and Andrew. This was an awesome time, and thanks to Texas Cardhouse Dallas for putting this whole thing together.
All right, guys, last hand for me. We got ace-king offsuit, middle position. See an under the gun open to 20. That's not enough. I make it $75, and the middle position player after me goes for the cold 4-bet jam for $425. Folds back to me. We don't like a cold 4-bet, but he had the shortest stack at the table. We're not getting away from this. I make the call. We agree to run it twice as he shows King Jack of diamonds, probably the best case scenario here. Let's head to a run out from the Frankie cam. Can I win this all in front of the man himself, Brad Owen? Let's see.
Give me a jam.
No 10.
No, I want a 10 one.
Oh,
I got 2 10s.
oh no. Brad, you folded 10s? Oh. Good hand. I'm fine with it. I am fine with it.
No dice for me as we chop it up. He hits a flush on the second board. I'm fine. We'll reduce the variance there in a pretty big pot for me. We win that a lot of the time. We're okay. Let's rack up a pretty nice win and cash out.
Yeah, definitely shot took. I think you'll be able to tell I was a little nervous in some spots where I shouldn't have been, but this is a lot of money. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was nervous.
And that king jack hand we did not hold.
Yeah, we didn't hold the king jack.
What percentage? We're like 80%.
Yeah, we're looking nice.
We're looking nice.
We're looking nice.
We're looking nice. I like to run it twice to avoid the variance, but very good session. We both survived in the black.
I know. In the black in 2-5, our first time like ever.
Should we just wrap it up here?
Yeah, as far as results go. How much was it?
1950.
1950?
1950.
So that's a 650 profit.
In for 1300 over there.
In for 1300. Yeah, that's very important information.
So I got a little scared right when I sat down and I took 100 away, so I was in for 900.
I respect that.
I was nervous, okay? And after running ace, king, and aces, starting pretty slow, ended up in the black up $100. So cash for 1110 after hourly.
2 wins on a very special day. We hope you enjoyed.
Let's go give Brad his gift.
Let's go give Brad some gifts.
A little change of scenery for you guys here. Forgot to record an outro, so here it goes. At the Brad and Andrew meetup game, it was great to meet those guys, but didn't go too well for me that session. In for 800, out for 0, so kind of tough. Only a few pots played, plus 1 bomb pot where guys scooped it on me. Fortunate runouts, and we'll get them next time. Peace.